fact, one high school senior posted to the group that he couldn't believe how excited he was about reading a book that he didn't have to. He wrote, and I quote, "A senior reading a book for fun over the summer? What?" A British literature professor used a Facebook page to help shape in-class discussion. When students finished their reading for the class, they would go to the group and write a paragraph about what they'd read. One student wrote that this made students socially motivated to complete reading and contribute to the discussion online. It also created a more even playing field for students who weren't as comfortable participating as others in class. Facebook can be used to teach students about civic participation and global issues. It's moving to watch people all over the world come together in common cause and utilize Facebook to raise funds to support relief efforts in response to natural disasters in places like Haiti, Japan, New Zealand, southern United States. Similarly, Facebook has been used to help students learn about democracy, political processes in government. The White House, State Department, and US military are all on Facebook, and many campaigns use Facebook as an organizing tool. The Pew study found that Facebook users are more than twice as likely to engage in political meetings or rallies, and 57% more likely to persuade a friend to vote. But while there are certainly many great examples of how Facebook has already been used in the classroom, I believe we can do more. Students can follow the news feeds of organizations related to the subject matter they're studying. If you're learning about art, you can follow and get regular updates from the Museum of Modern Art in New York, for example. Teachers can poll their classes to get their views on issues. Students can learn about elections by following campaigns on Facebook. And teachers can share best practices and lesson plans with one another. These are some examples, but the best uses of social networking technology will be developed not by me or my colleagues, but by educators like so many of you in the room here today, who understand the needs of students best. So please, embrace technology. It's an asset for educators. The second point I want to make today is about how digital safety makes good digital citizens. I say this with some hesitation at the risk of contradicting Senator Rockefeller, but he did say that it's growing, that the Facebook users are growing by the hour and the minute, and Facebook now has a user base of over 750 million people, larger than the populations of US, Germany, Brazil, and Japan combined. Just as it's hard to imagine a country that large never having any crime, we know that it's unrealistic to think that there would never be a single safety concern on Facebook. But our goal is to continually create new ways to make our service as safe as possible, which means we aim to innovate as much around safety as we do in other parts of our business and the product. It also means that we think that safety online is about more than just policing content or developing rigorous enforcement mechanisms. We think it's about raising good digital citizens. In that spirit, we try to develop resources that accomplish three goals: creating technologies that lead to a safer experience, making educational materials available to people who use Facebook, and assuring that our safety messages reach as many people as possible. I'm going to give you a ton of information right now, and I'd be happy to follow up with anybody afterwards to give you more specifics or direct you to other sites. And I have two colleagues here today, Matt Perrault and Andrew Noyes, who are also have a wealth of knowledge about all of these things, so I would encourage you to come and see them afterwards as well if you want more information. One of the most important safeguards on Facebook has been built into the service since the beginning: our real name culture. This means that people have to be their real selves on Facebook, which creates an environment where people are accountable for their actions and therefore less likely to engage in bad behavior. Fake names and hidden identities are simply not the purpose of Facebook. This culture is a crucial aspect of what sets us apart from the rest of the internet. Aside from our real name culture, we have robust reporting systems that enable everyone on the site to report offensive content or dangerous content when they see it. There are report buttons on almost every page of Facebook, and those buttons allow people to identify posts or photos that may violate our policies. We also recently developed a new form of reporting called social reporting, which addresses one of the chief challenges of online bullying. It is often the case that parents and educators aren't aware that bullying is going on, and even though they are often the ones who are best equipped to address the situation. So now, with social reporting, a student can choose to contact a parent or a teacher or a trusted friend to help address the issue. Another important mechanism for curbing cyberbullying is the block tool, which allows someone to cut all ties with a user. In creating this reporting infrastructure that I've just described, we have effectively created the world's largest neighborhood watch program. It's a system of community policing that helps teens on Facebook protect themselves and others. People of any age can report threats to minors, such as cyberbullying, threats of suicide or self-harm, or unwanted contact by adults. A large team of employees work around the clock to review these reports and take action as necessary, and quickly. These technologies all help fight against bullying, a priority for our company. Facebook often mirrors what's happening in the offline world. And just as no one has solved bullying offline, it will take time and ingenuity to address it online. In addition to the technological tools we've created, we've also developed rich safety educational resources on Facebook. We have a safety advisory board, a group of 5 leading internet safety organizations from North America and Europe. With their help, we've created our Safety Center, which contains information for teens, parents, educators, and members of the law enforcement community. We want parents to have conversations about web safety long before their kids are old enough to join Facebook, and to have them in the same way that they've discussed